Hello everyone, it's Belladonna and Madam Weepsy. Hello dear. I have many comics that I love. Marvel, DC, Independence, you name it. And I thought we would share some of my most favorites today. So, without further ado, here we go.
99. Hello, darling. Come on.
This one is Wolverine number 7 from the 1980s series. If you can see that, it's Wolverine number 7. Here you have Wolverine in his patch outfit with a patch over his eye and the Grey Hulk. Now this was in the town of Madripoor from Wolverine's various stories. This is very cool. It's a great looking picture. So there you've got Wolverine number 7, Grey Hulk and patch, baby. Cool stuff. Here's a little bit something different. I know there's a TV series now. I've not seen it. It's the What If series. This is the original What If series from the 1980s. What if Wolverine killed the Hulk? Look at that. That's very cool. There he stands over the Hulk's body. He's got his little funny outfit with pointy eyeballs on it. Going in the What If direction again, we've got What if Wolverine was an agent of HIELD? Look at this. This is Rob Liefeld art. Back who did the Youngblood series and whatnot, was known for doing the X-Force. Really awesome looking artwork on this one. I love this picture. Wolverine being an agent of HIELD, of course, of What If. This just has some of the coolest freaking artwork in it. I really love this one. I think it's a great story, it's a great idea. I, of course, cannot open it with these horrible gloves. So, now we're going to go in further to the past. So here we are in the early 80s, the very first Wolverine story. Wolverine number 1 from the limited series. I love this one because of the image of him doing the come on. So we're going way back into early Wolverine territory. Yes, Chris Claremont was on this. Oh, and Frank Miller. Chris Claremont and Frank Miller on this. I love this picture. It's not in the greatest condition. It's kind of beat up, but I wanted it just to have that awesome picture of the Wolverine. Going into earlier X-Men editions, here's number 172. Wolverine's marriage to Mariko. This was a cool one. You had the earlier times of Rogue being introduced before she was all like sexy and voluptuous, or Anna Paquin. But that's a very cool one. It's called The Invitation to the Wedding with a Tonto through it, indicating someone's not happy with this marriage. Here's another What If. Now this is What If Wolverine battle Conan the Barbarian, taking place during the Phoenix Saga. Wolverine is transported into another world with Conan. Now imagine the fight between Conan and Wolverine. This is a really cool one too. We're going to go in a little bit different direction, not just the What Ifs, but the What The. Now this was a parody comic that they would do to parody their own stuff. Wolverine versus the Pulverizer. Funny, fun stuff for comics fans. I've got a few of these here. I've got Wolverina. Look at that. Wolverina. We've got the She-Bulk. She-Bulk goes on a diet. In this issue, the pulse-pounding origin of Wolverina, sorta. And a quiet, refined, sophisticated New Year's party at Bud's Suds, where all the heroes hang out. This is a really cool What If one. This is one of my all-time favorites because, I mean, look at this freaking cover. What if Wolverine were Lord of the Vampires? There he is biting Phoenix's neck. We've got the Punisher over there fighting against him. This is an awesome story. Really cool. I really love the idea of Wolverine being the freaking Lord of the Vampires. Here's another What The, presenting Wolverine. Now Wolverine back in the 80s, 90s was in every freaking comic book, so they were really lampooning that one. Okay, here we go. X-Men versus Magneto, number 150, 75 cents, darlings. It's when Magneto destroyed the submarine with all the people in it, which he would be held trial for later. Here we have Heroes for Hope, the X-Men. Now this is interesting because this was during the time for famine relief and recovery in Africa. So many writers came together to do segments for this X-Men comic book. What's cool, Stephen King did a segment in here that they sort of made the character looks like something out of Creepshow. And also Harlan Ellison did a story in this. This was really interesting because all proceeds from this comic book go to the relief of famine and recovery in Africa. But Stephen King and Harlan Ellison did part of this. Very cool. This one's awesome because you have the X-Men in Asgard, and there's Storm as Thor. not as Thor, as the goddess of thunder, I suppose, taking up the mantle of Thor. This was a really great story too. This one got all beat up, unfortunately, but I really wanted to show this one because you have Wolverine and Havoc, Meltdown, very cool. But what's fascinating about this is if you look, I don't know if you can see it, there is a picture that they used Havoc. It is quite literally a picture of James Dean. So they use James Dean as Havoc in this. That's not just like, oh, it looks like James Dean. That's an actual picture of James Dean with a Loft to Let sign. So they used James Dean to be Havoc. That's pretty cool. This is a really neat one, the Wolverine number 50 from that original series. Claws in the front there. Cuts through. This is when Wolverine started to change. He went back to the gold and blue costume, and he started to become more screwed up. This is X-Men number 1. Now this is the one with the gatefold in it. Would open up and have all the different pictures. Jim Lee did it. So it has this really beautiful artwork on it. You could buy these individually or with the gatefold. Here we have the X-Men versus the Fantastic Four. That's an old school one there, back in the 80s again. And these covers have very little to do with the story, but they were pretty fantastic. It's a really neat story. Doctor Doom involved. Here we have a 50th anniversary of the What Ifs. This is what if the Hulk had killed Wolverine. It's cool, because you see a skeleton there. Adamantine skeleton with the Hulk's reflection in it. Silver and fancy. I just love this one. This is a Wolverine number 36. It's just a badass looking picture. Sitting there with a Gatling gun blowing everybody away, smoking a cigar. How could you not love Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen? And $2 whole. X-Men versus the Teen Titans. There's Phoenix. There's Robin. Cyclops. Oh yes, here it is. Magneto put on trial. Uncanny X-Men number 200. Professor X was presumed dead and Magneto took over as the leader of the X-Men. Here we go a little further back with the X-Men. This is during the Phoenix saga there. So you have Wolverine taking out the Hellfire Club. That's an old Phoenix issue there. This is one, like I always found these particular characters highly irritating. You have the Power Pack, you children. Yeah, okay, I get it. Comics for kids, not Mickey Mouse. They were little powered children, Power Pack. This one has Wolverine in there and Sabretooth from the X Factor. Because the book was probably not selling well, so why not stick Wolverine in it? Sort of like this X-Men issue where he's like looking like he's going to skewer the little Power Pack child. Doesn't happen, of course, in the issue, but I always had my hopes. And of course, this one, it's my favorite, even though it's not in good condition, so it's not worth a doodly swat. But Incredible Hulk 181, this is an original, and it is falling apart. But I wanted it, I didn't pay much for it, I actually found it at a yard sale. Someone had this in a can, like a coffee can, with a bunch of other comics. And there it was. Not in great condition, but it is the first official appearance of Wolverine. Incredible Hulk 181. How about that? Those are just some of my favorite comics in my collection. I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Perhaps we can share some more. Thank you, Madam Weaves, for your participation, which was nothing. And we will see you all. Bye for now.